But y'all have to bear with me though, because I lost my voice. Because if y'all haven't heard yet, Cleveland just won our championship. And we are in there, 216, we finally did it. 50-year curse, consider it broken. We did it, so bear with me. Y'all probably not gonna be hearing me as God. I'm not gonna be as loud as I usually be, but I'm gonna be back to the loudness, turn it up to the max next week, definitely. But we gonna be right back, shit. It kinda took me off my, but yeah. We gonna be right back. We gonna show y'all fresh produce. Such an awesome team. But yeah, that's it for now. Cut out that lat, that's it for now too. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Siri here on Mad Mondays, and we have the incredible and talented Fresh Produce.
Wow.
This is Brittany, Sam.
Hey.
I said the names right?
Yes.
Awesome. All right. So yeah, we got that. So tell us a little bit about yourself. You know, a lot of people of the land don't know.
All right. Well, I'm Sam. I go by Playne Jayne. I'm the MC of the group.
She got skills, y'all.
I got skills, of course, and that's my role in the group.
Brittany, aka DJ Red Eye. You know, I do most of the production, help out on a little bit of vocals, but I like to stay in my lane, just make sure the music's tight. And you know, we just joined forces and did our thing.
So how did you guys come up with the name Fresh Produce?
I specifically remember us just talking and just talking about how we're providing something organic, from the soul, fresh, good for the body. Fresh produce, and it just came about.
And we produced it. I mean, and she was like, that's the name.
That's it.
So did you guys have like any troubles like trying to find the name at first?
It just came up in conversation, honestly.
It just kind of just one of those things that fell out. Hey, that's the name. We're just gonna roll with it. Because at the time we didn't even know what we were gonna call ourselves. So it was just Playne Jayne and Red Eye. And at first, I think, if I remember, we were trying to stay away from a name because we didn't want to be corny.
Exactly.
And come up with, we're just gonna call it what we were.
Because I started coming up with names, it was just like, nah, leave it alone.
I don't feel like the more you try to make up names, the more harder it is.
Yeah, so it just came up in conversation one day, and it was just like, that's it.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Y'all name definitely describe y'all style and y'all group, definitely.
That's cool.
So what kind of music did y'all grow up listening to?
Well, I would say my top, I guess, 3 or 5 CDs when I was growing up. Mary J. Blige, My Life. Mary J. Blige, What's the 411 Remix. Blackstreet, Mint Condition, Definition of a Band, and Lauryn Hill, Miseducation of Lauryn Hill.
Nice.
Those were in my rotation when I was growing up.
All soulful, all cool.
I was a music hoarder, so I can't really just name a 10, but like, you know, I grew up with all the stuff that was going on in, like, you know, the 90s, hip hop, R&B. I listened to a lot of my mom's and my grandmother's music, so whether it was everything from like the 80s Jerry Curl music all the way to 70s funk, some 60s Motown, but then I also listened to a whole lot of reggae. When I was 8, I moved out to a suburb called Brecksville, so I got hip to a lot of like top 40 punk, a lot of the hip hop punk fusion. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I bought all the Limp Bizkit CDs. You know what I'm saying? I had Corn's Freak on the Leash, you know, but
Cleveland.
yeah, that's Cleveland. But you know, I just grew up listening to so many things. I know it got to a point to where like I knew how other people could tell what a genre was, but to me, I just heard music. You know, I mean, and it all just came one sound with a bunch of different feels. So
what change do y'all want to see in the hip hop world? That's a tough one, ain't it?
No, not for me. I don't want to see nothing change, because you know things change in ways that we can't control. So I mean, I would say like you know, things, I feel like hip hop was a situation, like think about that Common song, I used to love it, where it started off, you know, raw, then it got rich, then it got indulgent, then it got decadent, and like it kind of, now it's like real stripped down, and hip hop is influenced and seeped into so many different places. It's like people complain and they're like, you know, there's a lot of good music going on now where you listen to, and it's not so much hip hop, but you got like the internet, you got like, and I named one person, but like one entity, but there's so many just good movements and people who are just doing their own thing. Because I want to say, like, after mid 2000, everybody kind of just got sick of that shit.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
much.
And it was just like people started going back to what was going on in the 90s, what was going on in the 80s, what are they doing in London, what are they doing in South Africa? And you can see where like now hip hop here is influenced by a lot of outside influences from even other countries, and it's blended in. Trap is its own thing now, where like it's kind of branched off from hip hop. It's EDM, it's a whole other meaning when you go to Europe. So I mean, hip hop, I mean, you know, everybody has their growing pains and everybody has when they thought it was best. Like our parents got the same thing about R&B, our great grandparents said the same thing about funk and blues. So it's just like, you know, I just, things are just gonna naturally have their own life cycle, you know.
And their own flow, pretty much.
Yeah.
Let the universe be.
Yeah.
All right, so like what attracted y'all to y'all kind of sound? Like, did you guys like just mashed up together and just like made Super Supreme Tornado?
I mean, basically, you know, Red Eye's been doing music before we met. I've been doing music before we met. So we just kind of clashed of things that we already had. It wasn't like we're gonna sit down and we're gonna write a song about this. It was just kind of happening. So it evolved with our first project, We Are Fresh Produce. The second project was more deliberate, but it was still the same blueprint. She has rhymes and beats. I have rhymes, and we kind of put it together after we marinated as a group for a little bit. So, you know, I guess I hope I answered your questions. No, we don't sit down and just be like, okay, we're gonna make this about this. It just happens.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like this, even though we've been working together for over a year, when I first saw Playne Jayne, it was maybe 3-4 years ago, and she was doing the show with her other group, Elemental. And I was just, you know, I was talking to my boyfriend at the time who also knew her, and I was like, yeah, she nice. I was like, one day I'm gonna shoot a bunch of beats at her. I was like, you think she'd fuck with him? And he was like, yeah, you know, Sam is cool. She's real approachable, even though she was standing in the corner looking all hard. But I feel like, you know, I had like watched Sam from a distance, probably definitely more than she's watched me as a DJ. Yeah. And I was like, you know, when I had sounds, I was just like, I think she would like these. And then there ended up being things, the more we started hanging out, that, you know, she was like, no, I like that. And then it was just like, yo, I'm gonna just make a bunch of stuff, you write a bunch of stuff, we gonna link up a couple times a week, and we could just gonna see what, you know, what mixes. And our first project wasn't even supposed to be, it was supposed to be a couple loose tracks just to see how it worked out. But before you know it, I might have sent you like a CD with a bunch of beats on it, and you're like, I wrote to all of it. And I was like, okay, well, let's do it.
Now, as a team, do you guys have like criticism, like not criticism, like some things you may not like about a song, so you guys tell each other? Are you guys that open?
Oh yeah, for sure. And I mean, I definitely trust her ear. I'm a person that's always worked in a group setting. Right. So I'm always looking for feedback, because in each group setting it's always gonna be different. So I can't approach the way I make music with my other group the way I approach music making with her. And I trust her ear, you know what I mean? So if she's like, nah, dude, let's try it this way, or let's try it this way, I'm completely open, because she also trusts my skills and being able to execute, you know, what she's hearing, especially if she has an idea about something. So we just respect each other's lanes, and, you know, with her on the MC side, you know, I give her pointers on that. So I mean, it's a good working relationship and a workflow and a respect there. So.
You know, I definitely like the way y'all do things, because, you know, you're a DJ, and, you know, they say, you know, the DJ and the artist, whoever's performing, they work together, but, you know, they show each other off. You know, you guys, I see that in your shows, y'all show each other's skills off, especially with you with the killer beats, and then you be able to like switch like whenever she switches a beat, you switch your flow like that. Like I can see the chemistry is working well. And you guys y'all rarely butt heads.
Yeah, we butt heads behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I think that's what makes the music feel so real. Like where she says she's used to working in a group, I've always been used to being solitary. So I'm not used to like not getting my way, not saying what's the first thing on my mind, however it sounds, even if I could have said it better. I'm just, and I don't know, I'm just used to always making myself felt, you know what I'm saying? Where I feel like Sam is a lot more diplomatic, like me, like, I feel like I can be very easy to work with, but like if I really am feeling strongly about something, like I'm not gonna be cooperative. Like I just can't. That's not in my nature.
Have you guys ever like hit a time where it be like an unstoppable force meets an unmovable object? Like y'all just be like, I'm not budging, and somebody ends up have to budge.
Yeah, I just don't budge.
She just don't budge. But the thing sometimes I tell her all the time is like sometimes it's like I might not agree, but sometimes it's like, damn, she's right. So I just gotta bite the bullet and be like, all right, I see what she's saying. I'm gonna just be quiet and go ahead and let it roll. Cause like I said, I trust where she's coming from. So yeah.
That is awesome. So I'm gonna ask y'all both this individual question. So when did you start rapping? Start writing? Like when did you like that first inspiration?
Okay.
Like, I can do this. Let me try it.
Yeah. It was. I can almost remember the day, but it was when I went to the Lauryn Hill Outkast concert. Always been into music.
I was mad I missed that concert.
Man, always been into music, and my mom, she surprised me because that thing was on doo-wop on the radio, and I loved it. And she was like, guess what, Sam, I bought you a CD. Flipped out, was cool.
When CDs were that thing.
Yeah, it was like, oh, I got the Lauryn Hill CD. And she was like, you better learn it because we going to the concert next week.
Nice.
Flipped out. So, and then when I went to the concert, I like took everything in. It was at the Wolstein Center. And so Outkast went on. I loved Outkast, but I couldn't consume it.
Yeah.
Like, I was 10. So Outkast has to grow with you. You can't listen to an Outkast CD at 10 and get it.
You're a little girl.
Yeah, exactly. But when Lauryn came on, just everything about her, I always just looked up to her. And she specifically said, I'm just like a person like everybody in here. I get up every day just like you. I found my gift. You can too. You can do whatever you want. And it could have just been me and her in that stadium. And I believed her. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so I had my mom give me twisty braids. I got a Lauryn Hill t-shirt and a notebook, and I just every day. And that was it.
Me, Started making beats. I want to say I was probably somewhere between 10 and 12 because I brought a little keyboard and I started using the little programming and memory settings where you had to make the little beats in that. When I was 14, my mom bought me a SP303, where that's where I really got a lot of my start for DJing, because I really got into the loops, and I really learned what a break could be and how to find them, and then patching and combining other sounds. And this was like it was like alchemy to me. You know what I'm saying? And I would just lock myself in my room, have a bunch of CDs, and when I couldn't get my hands on records, and I would just be putting stuff on top of each other. But then I ventured more off into DJing, like as a way to make money during after college. I was always collecting music because I couldn't afford instruments, so I would just buy a bunch of CDs. And then I got back into making beats because I had a bunch of vinyl. A lot of my friends were making beats, and it was just like I got back into it. But then it was just like I felt like because I DJ also and I listen to so many different types of music, and I feel like my personality, I'm really aggressive. So like I wanted to be like, as a DJ, it's gonna be dance floor ready. Even if it's not a banger, it'll still be something that like you can ride to in the car. I feel like that's a requirement for all of my stuff. And then it's just like I like to always add just little extra touches where you wouldn't think. Not to overcomplicate it, but just to add an extra little rhythmic kind of aspect to it.
Definitely, I feel that, man.
Yeah.
Thank y'all so much, everybody.
Thank you.
This is Fresh Pudos. I said Fresh Pudos.
Fresh Pudos.
Fresh Pudos.
Fresh Pudos.
Fresh Pudos.
Pudos frescos.
Okay. This is Fresh Produce.
Three fresh hoes.
Fresh Pro.
3 fresh hoes.
Fresh Produce, y'all. Can the people reach you on any social networks?
Yes, Facebook, Instagram. Again, go to wearefreshproduce.com. It's a hub for everything.
And it just take you to everything.
Yeah, just go there.
All right, y'all. That's all. I cannot talk today. Throat, calves, wind, all on my head.
All in.
But exactly, love the city.
All in.
But this is the end of Mad Mondays. We'll be back with y'all every third Monday of the month. So y'all tune in. I'm tuning out. Fresh Produce here. Fresh Produce. Produce. Not poodles. Produce. As long as I make you laugh. As long as I make you laugh. But this is Mad Monday, people, and we are out. Fuck with your nigga.
I fuck with that. I like Fresh Produce.